Final hour of trading in a Tuesday session. Here we go. Let's have a look at how things stand as we head into the final hour. There we go. A little bit red, guys, in the U.S. still. 0.1 for the S&P, 0.13, about 0.2 for the NASDAQ there. Bottom end of the board, Bitcoin still in negative territory as well. Overall, it has been a pretty choppy day. Top to bottom, guys. That being said, it seems like everything is just going up today.
That's ludicrous.
Well, I mean, the market...
Hopefully you guys check out Twitter. Neil and I rocking to some Luda. Hopefully you guys can check that out. But we thought Brendan would be dropping some bars there. But yeah, everything is going up.
Brendan.
Everything is going up today, but not up as much as Affirm did, guys. People talking about this level on Plug, $30, good level there. We'll find out what happens on that one. But okay, Affirm right now, guys. Big time trade this afternoon, or sorry, this morning, leading into this afternoon, where it goes all the way up to 143, man. We had 133, so I just put in the chat. We could have had $8 now. That's a dime. That's $10 right there to the upside, but we only take out 5 as we get out at 138.50. It comes right back in, and we could have got long again there, but Affirm just continues its march to the upside as well. We still have Softy on board as well. That went about $2 in the money off this 293 short. You know, thought we could take out the high there. We'll see if that can come back. And then SoFi, we're rocking and rolling, cooking with gas on this one as well. So up to 19 right now for SoFi off these longs. Yesterday, man, we were long 1680. 1680 on SoFi yesterday, up to 19 today. So all of us that have been holding out for that can floss it off as we've been making a little bit of money on SoFi, day trading, and in our swing accounts. And
watch out for Oxygen. It finally breaks this resistance on the daily chart. 935, you can see here. I got the long at 39. That's my average price. Took it a couple times. Looking to see if it can't make that break to $10. I got my orders out here, just showing you guys. If you weren't watching the morning show, then you might have missed out on, you know, sort of why we like this level instead of like, you know, $9.25, $9, whatever it might be. I battled GWH. Several times. Whoops, GWH is on the New York, man. And I'm sitting there staring at it on another level too, and still not even noticing it. I had this one several times. Flip. Is it gonna load? Yeah, there we go.
These charts are ludicrous.
I had this one several times, including at top, holding for the home run trade. Now, if I'm ever in this one, let's be candid, I actually had to go to the bathroom. I put a stop in just to make sure I didn't get absolutely punked, and it trailed me out here. It's still trying to hold $25. If you're watching Memes and Movers, I was saying if there's someone buying up GWH at $25, the joke was that it could have been Bill Gates. By the way, this SPAC is a Bill Gates-backed company, so I doubt they'd be adding to it when they're probably deep in the money. But anyways, someone is still buying it at $25 over and over and over again. So I'm not fighting it anymore. If it pumps up one more time, maybe it breaks 30. The stock is ridiculous. It seems like it's only going up because it is only going up. I wish I had seen that plug power a little bit faster. Unfortunately, I think we talked about this like a few weeks ago on the daily chart and mentioning stocks that could be potentially trying to break out. And that 30 level was what I was mentioning. Well, I got a short in front of it if we get a chance at it. It does set up, you know, obviously for a bit of a breakout at that price as well, kind of like Oxygen is doing here on the daily. But first things first, I mean, you know, plug up 7.5%. A lot of EV names are moving here today, I mean, you can call it EV names or related names are moving here today, because obviously Plug isn't an EV company, but it's getting the sympathy push here. Let's see if it doesn't fade back in. That's what I'd like to see happen. I'm gonna, every time I look like this, it's me staring at GWH and someone buying it up at 25. So it just can't seem to break that level.
No, hold on a second, 20 minutes here. So DATS, I mean, DATS stock has been going absolutely crazy. DAT chat here through this high on the 20-minute chart, 1377 right here, guys. So still going, and we've already looked at this, 1494. $15 possible high here for DAT chat as it continues to make some money here in the afternoon for anybody that's gone long. We just had a big explosion just right now, right when we came on the air at 3 o'clock. Boom, to the upside. I wonder if there's any, I'm like wondering if there's any news on this. I don't think there's going to be any news on this, but we do have Nick Gleason has rescheduled to come on the show today. So Nick Gleason's coming at 3:40. We'll talk to him, see what he's all about. Bull and Bear Capital. Nick Gleason from Rogue Trader, the original Rogue Trader. Sorry about that, Barings Bank. What's up, Brendo?
Yeah, half an hour or so, guys. We'll get Nick swinging by. We apologize for this morning. We had a little, he's in Ireland, so there was a timing scheduling thing. WWR, guys. Sean, you mentioned DATS there. This one as well, right at the same time. Big pop through $4 here for Westwater Resources also.
That was another one from this morning, and sometimes you can't sleep on them too much. But that is a redonkulous volume spike there. You kind of feel like when it fails like this, and get ready, Rob. That was at 420 that it just made a top. No? Fail? I mean, it did fail.
I
but it was
pushed the fail.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there we go.
There's 420 for you, 419 technically, but hey, man, that's close enough that we can mention it. No significant level. I mean, I kind of thought when that spiked up, it's like, okay, maybe it'll travel into 450 before turning, but it's immediately giving it right back. Liquidity on this, not exactly gigantic. That's why you see it, like, I mean, it just falls, half of the move almost instantaneously there. I saw someone talking about Tesla. I was basically, again, it's hard for me to get away from this GWH, and I was looking at a Moderna as well, but Tesla is coming back in. This one was a decent long for me in the morning. There we go. Thank you, chart. But we just bounced off VWAP again at 807. If it's going to dip any further than this, I guess today maybe isn't the day that it travels into 820. I thought this move would take you to 820 on a breakout in Tesla. It has not happened. If it breaks VWAP, I'd be looking back to about 800 for a bit of a dip buy, and then I'm going to be sitting here watching that GWH. I'm giving Oxygen some room here. It's about 12 cents on a pullback. 12, 15 cents on a pullback so far. Just looking at it here, trying to make that break. As long as it can hold up this higher low at about 910 and 915, I still think it's on the way to go. It's all about this daily chart level. Every single time the stock is spiked in the last, 3 or 4 months, it has basically reversed and not been able to get through this 935. It does it here today, and you'd like to think that it can continue. If it can't continue to $10 here, it's never going to $10. That's the way it feels to me. And that GWH, I might short a 25 jailbreak if that goes. It is still stacking up. Like, volume is just packing in, and someone is buying this thing up. And it's not an iceberg order. It's now turning into people that are essentially just sitting in front of the bid here. And every time it comes down, even like a few cents, it's getting bought back up. But you can see the amount of pressure that it's been put on this level. For what seems, it's like 2 hours now it's been testing this 25, which is ridiculous. This was a $10 stock yesterday, and it just came to market, and now you have someone buying it up at 150% upside and won't let it drop. It seems insane to me, but it's happening anyways. If 25 goes, I almost have to take a shot at shorting this. We'll see what happens. I could still take out the high of the day. That sits at $29. I'd look for probably 30 short if it did.
All right, so good talking about some of these names that we're looking at. I just went long on DATS, so we'll see what happens here. It breaks through 1430. It was just a high of the day, so this is not a big position. Just trying to, like I said, stack some stuff up here, but we may get stacked up ourselves if it doesn't come in. So we're going to get out right here. If it breaks back down below 1380 or so, we'll get out, which could happen right now. It looks like. So I thought we could go for a run here to 15, but I'm not going to let this one, be, well, I mean, I already have a negative stock today. What was it? NTRB, yeah. Another crazy one in the morning. We'll talk about that, that we got out of NTR. Anyways, 1380 is my stop there. NTRB here this morning. We were all over this thing. I mean, long in the pre-market. We had to battle back into this spot right here, 1020, and then it halts right there. Like, we get out when it breaks some of these pre-market areas. So it's a loser, but then bang, right to the back. Like, almost as soon as we get out, about 10 minutes, let's call it 20 minutes later, boom, to the upside and halts there, and then just drifts right back down. And look at these areas right here. This is what we like. And you got to watch out for this, or if you ever see it, like into here, the same area, it's just stupid because, we just weren't sitting here watching this. And then there's the halt again on the upside. So, I mean, it has a lot of movement. It's just that it's barcoding at certain areas. And this may be another one right now. It's only that it's 308. So that's like my main concern right now about some of these names. Is there going to be volume coming in soon? I'd rather get long if we can come back into here. Now, I don't know if that's going to be possible, but we are going to write this down for tomorrow. So we're going to keep on our board tomorrow, NTRB, and we're going to see if we can get it sub 10, like around there. I mean, you might get sub 10 right now.
Oh,
now it's starting to come back in right here. So, okay, I see you, NTRB. I have no idea what the name of this stock is, but NTRB right here coming back into the downside right now. So I like this level. I mean, this level could be a holding spot. Let's put a bid at 10 and see what happens.
Nutrabrand.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that earlier. Yeah.
No, I mean, every now and then we get the name of these companies. I actually had to look it up. I'm not not going to pretend that I actually knew. I had to look it up. I was just short this several times, like scalping it for 20, 30 cents, and then just got stopped out. See, look, this is what happens every now and then. Certain stop orders read prints on the time and sales, And you had this wick up here that up to like 1170. It didn't actually trade to 1175, but that actually stopped me out while I was not paying attention. I should have been paying attention to it. I did not get back into it. Now you're going to see it flush back in here. But this is one of the risks. We have two types of stops we can use to day trade the world. I used one, which I think is a little bit safer, but it is prone to sometimes triggering you when you get those types of moves. There was one other name that we wanted to get, one other name that I wanted to talk to very quickly. And it's just going to be CCXI. This will be the trade of the day, but every now and then you get out too early, and that's the theme of the day. Whether it's getting out too early in a firm or getting out too early in CCXI. When we left you, it felt pretty good being able to take like $3 winner on this stock. We had the 42 short. We triggered out here at just above that 38. We had a reload at 41 as well. This thing cratered to $35. Now the good news, if you're in this stock, is it's still way above, you know, sort of on day one when it gapped up, the bottom here at $29. And then even this dip here at about 32.5, 33. So those levels didn't even get tested. That's the good sign, is it caught a bit of a bid around 35 even. If it drops any further, I think that's where you got to look for support. It's going to be 29. It's going to be 32.5. It's not there yet, but you know, that double top at 42, you can't miss out on things like this. I thank you guys in the chat for always reminding, saying, hey, look, remember that level we were talking about in shorting off of in the afternoon? It's back in play again in the morning, and then you got to be able to hit it when it's there. If it drops any further, like I said, 32.5, 29, those are two support levels for CCXI, which is now gonzo, 10% to the downside, so that move is pretty much done. Got to wait to catch a bid.
Oh, I was just looking at that to stop that 1450 almost on the dime. I mean, 1448 there for that. So I have an offer near that 15 like we talked about. Whatever. I mean, there we go. We just spit, you know, in the face of 25 cents there. So what, or 20 cents. Not a big trade. So yeah, that's why. Like, I'm willing to lose 50 cents on the back end of this. So let's just see if it can continue to go upside. I still think that we have a 15 area here that, you know, that we're a little worried about. So if we can get up to there, we'll retest it. That either could be a signal for a short, or we blow through it, or we get out where my order is resting right now as a limit order. And we use that all the time here on the show, right? And I think that you should do that yourself. Trader Proud was talking about hard stops, and I mean, that's what I have right now. This 1380, you break back down below here, we're going to get out. I just don't need, you know, to worry about that. It's too much of an obvious level. That's the only problem with hard stops, is when you find a level that you like, guess what? I mean, it's probably pretty obvious, and this one is. So, but if it breaks back down, then we're going to get out and then just not worry about it, because we have a lot of other things going on here, and you know, this doesn't need to be a problem that we escalate for ourselves. So that's going to be that. Coming up soon, we have JP Morgan earnings. We have Delta tomorrow, I believe, in the morning. So the airlines kick off. So do the banks start kicking off, and JP Morgan has pulled back. Its recent highs of we'll look at the 20-minute chart, or the 20-period chart here if I can find it. Here it is. Recent highs right there, 170, 150, right? Yesterday, that was big, and then all of a sudden just started ticking downside into earnings. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, but not a great looking momentum here. If you look at a 20-period chart for JP Morgan, we dipped down to 166.50 or so, and now we're touching 165. So, you know, we're a little bit worried about it. Of course, our charts show these dark prints. Apologize for that. We can't get rid of them. You know, are just the way
one by one, you could.
just the way we operate. We will always show these, and it's, I don't know, it's just what it is. I argued that we shouldn't, but okay. Apparently we should. So 167 right there goes back into June, where we had a high before dropping down. So I'm wondering if that comes into play tomorrow, 167. We'll see if earnings can bust it through there. If not, we may, if it's a bad report, we may short against this where we are now, 166, 167 or so.
I just don't feel like it's going to be a bad report. Well, I mean, obviously we'll see.
The problem is expectations.
Yeah, the problem is expectations.
They're so high.
Like everyone's sort of thinking they're going to blow it out of the water. Plug Power. Oh, I don't have my Timmy's cup.
We went.
Oh my God!
I treated, but I got the large one. Neil
I
got
forgot
the small.
Is the small one have the roll up the rim?
They all do, but it's electronic, so you can't do anything about it. It's on my account, Neil.
Oh,
so.
no, I threw it out and I didn't even check, so I didn't.
Oh, okay. I hate doing that when you throw it out. Not that you're going to dumpster dive.
No,
yeah, this is on. Is that dumpster dive?
These guys are like, what's going on? It's roll up the rim to win at Tim Hortons, so you can win prizes.
Yeah, you can win. You know, you can win a stay at the Hilton. You can win a stay at the Hilton. You can win Crave. I already subscribed to Crave. What I've won, an Xbox. I'll give it to Brad. I have kids, so no Brad. What I've won so far is 5 points so far on every coffee. I've got 5 bonus points. You need 7. Does it? You need 70 for a free coffee. So thanks for that, Tim Hortons. Everyone wins. Yeah, right. On that, but that's QSR. So back to trading.
Oh, really? I can't even. Oh my gosh, 25 just broke, and what am I getting here? 74s. Yeah, okay. I just paid down to 74s to get GWH, which will probably pop right back to the upside because that's what it does. So new position alert. By the way, I'm now short again in GWH. And, I finally got this plug power, consolidating lower high here. I'll play this range if it wants to do this game, 29.85 or so where it sits here, down to about the 68 to 70 range, 15 cents or so. And then if it breaks 30, we can just jam out of this trade. GWH, like I just said, it took out the bid. And this is like several times it's done it. This feels like, I was stalled out of this trade and, obviously I could still be in it. And if I was, I might be covering at this range and looking to get back out. But at some point, I kind of feel like this is dropping into VWAP, kind of what you just saw NTRB do, or it just has to jailbreak to the high of the day. Like one of these two things is going to happen. For now, I'm willing to give it a buck to try to make a couple here on GWH. You have to have, it's almost one of those things where you have to have a stop on it. Like you could sit here saying it's not going to take out 30, but I can't hold it forever. Like I've had how many, like 50 something executions on this stock, 57 executions. Right, at every single moment that I was in the short in this one, I was sort of giving it enough room with a stop on it that, okay, if it actually flushes into VWAP, I'm now have a pretty solid day on it, but I never want to lose more than like 50% of what I'm comfortable on a given stop because I'm fighting the trend. So if it finally goes here without Bill Gates picking it up again, I don't think that's really happening, but Pratt actually said it, then I think we got it to go down all the way to VWAP here. It's just so many times it held this level. You had to know when it goes, a decent chance it was going to flush for you. So it's in the money now about 60, 70 cents, but I want a couple of bucks here. Well, at least $1. Give me $1 on the first leg of this and I can be somewhat happy with it. And then we'll see about the rest of this trade in through VWAP. So there we go. We'll hit this key. I don't know. Floating Bitcoins. I don't know, whatever. I'm hitting floating Bitcoins because it's the first thing that came to mind, but 25 finally breaks on GWH. If it does go through VWAP, this stock could easily tank to $20. It could tank to $15. It's just hard to know how far it wants to go, given how strong it was previously. I wouldn't be surprised if it halted either.
Okay, so yeah, good points there. We're going to call up the sticky note. There it is. New, not new animation, but one we don't use too often. I see some questions about Nike, so we'll talk about that. SoFi on there, huge trade for me today. Hopefully you guys are watching. AMC we didn't get in. We're looking for 36.50, 36 level. I can call up the chart and talk about that right now if you want on AMC. But look, we talked about Palantir. Should be along off 23.25 or so right there. Look at the bottom here for Palantir today, 23.28. As a bottom, we're not able to make any money. We got out and should have just defended our own levels there. We will talk about Nike, but we did have SoFi. And then quickly here, AMC, just to give you guys an update of where we are on AMC. We talked about $26.50, $36, long, look at this, long in front of 36 right here. So we maybe have to execute this trade. If you'd done that early, bang, right to the upside. There's $1 for you. What up, Brendo?
Just saw Altria, guys, MO, pop up here. I'll show you why. Big volume spike, huge volume spike came in there. This actually happened. It traded all the way up here to almost 48 and then got immediately slammed right back down to fresh lows here, or at least recent lows for the day. Still positive, but just checking on Mo, guys.
Nice, Anthony. Anthony took the trade. Good. Yeah, I'm glad some of you guys are taking that trade. I was just too invested in Microsoft. Oh, you guys know the story. I talked about it on the live show there, that if I was wrong and the market kept going down, then I would have been absolutely destroyed. Instead, today I'm having my best day of the week. So, yeah, it's going to be a good one. We've had a lot of rebounds in today. It's been a wild trade. So, yeah, all is good. We have, look at this Microsoft trade, man. What is going on in the NASDAQ? It's come all the way back in, man. This was a $2 winner up here. Why I didn't take that out, I have no idea. Probably because we're listening to Ludacris.
Luda. I don't see, I wish I saw a level that was worth defending on Altria when you get that kind of a snapshot move, because it's just like the potential of a pullback is going to be legitimate. We'll go with this one. Plug Power, we did get that trade, and we talked about like 2 seconds ago. Not 2 seconds ago. Maybe like a couple of minutes ago, I suppose it was. We talked about this range from like 85 into 70, and we're going to play it here. And then if it falls any further, I can get rid of these bids here. If it falls any further, maybe 50s, and then maybe the quarter mark or something like that. So it's a quick $30 level. You find it from the daily chart. Probably the last time we talked about this was when it was breaking the 50 period. Actually, I do remember. The last time we talked about the 30 level was when it was breaking the 50 period last month. And then thinking about the fact that it had resistance at that 30 range. So I'm really happy that you guys were pointing out. It's like, by the way, plugs at that 30 level. I'm like, yes, we'll take advantage of it. But it hasn't followed through just yet, right? Like, still a chance that this thing could retest those highs. And with only 40 minutes to go, that's why I'm going to bank some profit. Your counter trend here, right? Like the market's weak, and the EV names and the renewable energy names are all strong. So you find a resistance level. You got to make money off of it. It's not about, it's nice to be able to say that's a great level, but you also want to take advantage of it if you can. I'm not in the Moderna trade, but for anybody that did short off those levels this morning, congratulations to you. It didn't quite get to that 314 to 317 range that I liked, so you won't see me in this trade. But if you got it here, worth noting, it's sort of approaching the afternoon lows here. I mean, support levels at 309, happens to be VWAP as well. So bank some of your profit. I know Moderna has a chance to follow through because it tends to the downside when it gets going. So let's be honest about that. There's room to go for sure, but it is up on the session, counter to the overall market, and that 309 level I think could have a little bit of support. So I'd be at least a little bit careful there if you're holding onto that short and not taking your profit. Brendan, what you got?
For anyone wondering, guys, on this GWH, this is the Bill Gates battery play. I was just reading a little bit more about this. So it's a SPAC, obviously. This is the first day of trade, but it included quite a large PIPE investment. Part of that came from Breakthrough Energy Ventures, which is Bill Gates' clean energy investment firm, if anyone was wondering, on GWH, guys.
Yeah, Neil talked about that, and the thing about it is like, I mean, there's so many EV plays out there, and it's like, how do you know which ones are which? So, I mean, good call there. Anybody's able to be long and in charge of GW Pharma. XL Fleet comes off today up a little bit. I mean, it's near 52-week lows. This is like one of the EV plays that I have based on, they did some deal with Ford a very, very long time ago, and we bought this thing. Our average price is like $7. So it's not great, but XL Fleet also on the downside now. So that's like, look at this, just puke, puke, puke. We actually got it. Where was it? There was one day where I couldn't get out of it because we bought it. Oh, it was this day. I think it was actually here, where we bought it at 840 or 850 there, and it ripped up, and we were in the money huge. We were even talking about, but we couldn't get out of it on the show. And then look where it closed, all the way basically for flat. And then since that day, it's just been horrendous. But we did average down in here somewhere like $6 or so. So that's why we're at 7 right now. And the name that I keep saying that I like out of all of them, I mean, I like Fisker. We talked about this earlier on this morning, and I mean, only because Fisker has some bottoms here that I think can hold. So $10, so on and so forth. I mean, I know you don't want to go long at 14 and wake up and see it at 10, but it does have a little bit of movement there with Fisker. And then, of course, the big dog that we all like, I think everybody on the chat knows about Tesla, like 807 right now. You just can't, like, people say, oh, the market's dipping and Tesla's, hold my beer type of stuff again. So, I mean, Tesla just upside there. Anybody worried about their portfolio? I mean, if you've been in Tesla for the last 2 or 3 months, you're up quite nicely, because even back in July, 640, you're up $170 there just in a couple months there on Tesla. So just keeps on going. We like Tesla.
Yeah, and there's been a couple of questions about Micron. So I'll say it got out of OCG and it couldn't hold that dip range. So I guess this stock just can't seem to break out. I'll have to probably revisit the shorts tomorrow if it holds below that 935. Micron, it hasn't been a good day for Micron. We talked about it in the morning show. Gonzo, I mean, this 69 level, I just wish, it wasn't on the radar for me today. So, to say that it was a missed opportunity is an understatement, because that's a clear, clean breakdown on Micron. And it's just, there's not a heck of a lot to like. At least in terms of looking at the chart, until you get into the 60s, like the low 60s, I would say. I'd be sitting this one out. There might be an opportunity, but the weakness overall, on a day where, I mean, the other chip makers are looking pretty decent, before I would step into this one, I would probably be looking at things like your Lambs and your AMATs on the supply side. Otherwise, why pick on this name? Just let it fall even further if this is what you like, because down below that 60 level, there's some pretty appealing prices on breakouts, which were very swing tradable the last time we were at these prices. But man, it's an ugly day for Micron. There was one trade to be had on it, and it's clear, right? There was one trade to be had, and it was the short. And bottom picking on it, there was nothing obvious down there. Speaking of bottom picking, I did have and I should have probably said this, there was news on Alibaba. Ooh, what is that wick here? 150. There was news on Alibaba when I happened to be sitting in a long trade. So I'll do this so you can see it a little bit better. I was long when we ended the show on Alibaba. I talked about sort of finding the bottoms here in front of this 163. We're talking about on the Trader on memes and movers. And then all of a sudden they're like, Jack Ma is not going to be as involved anymore. And it's like,
what does that even mean?
Yeah, like the stock spiked. It just ran like $3 to the upside. And I got some because I had an order out. Then it came right back. I'm $1 in the money. I'm like, well, how is that such a great headline? And we're sitting there talking, but I'm like, of course, it's like, just get the heck out. So sometimes bank the profit because bank error in your favor, right? Like I thought this was support, and obviously it was down at 162, it was a decent level in the daily as well. But then that headline drops, and I happen to be in position. Just bank it, man. Like if you don't think it's, even if I thought it was a halfway decent headline, it's right back to where it was before. Brendan, what do you got for us?
Another one making moves on a headline this afternoon, guys. Coinbase popped up. This is going back to about 1 o'clock or so. Right back down, but I just saw some volume come back in at 248 there on this NFT headline. They're prepping that marketplace apparently for Coinbase, guys. So a little bit of volume coming back to the buy side.
Can't hold 250 this stock.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is all over NFTs, and I mean, that's the thing about it is like it's a new thing, and I like that Coinbase is involved in NFTs. I mean, it's just going to be more money, hopefully, coming through for them. Look, I'm still on this DATS, man, and I don't know, like, I didn't average in because I have my plan, and I'm going to stick with it, and I really think that we have a chance to go, and I'm like, right now I'm debating, hey, do I take the 20 cents, or do we wait for this to break? So, of course, I'm not taking the 20 cents. We're going to wait for this to break. So here it comes up to 14.50. Let go! Here we go. If we can get into the 80s now, that'd be pretty nice. That's where my offer is, 1480, because we are just, here we go. Now we're getting spicy. Right up here to 1480. So we'll see if we can get going. I do have an offer just to make sure I do. Yep, I'm not going to tell you exactly where, but it's in the 80s, and it's in the high 80s. So hopefully...
I mean, I could tell...
Let's go, 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 go. Hopefully it rips upside. I mean, I may just get some out right now. This is a 30-cent winner right away here on DATS. As it's starting to go, we just topped out there at 67, so add 20 cents to that, and we'll be out. So hopefully that can come out to the upside right now. That is Dat Chat looking for a nice move here. So hopefully that'll go. All right. Yeah. Guess what just happened? Just flew in to my account right now. NTRB. I was joking about it coming back in here, and that's exactly what it did. So this is not... whatever, man. I mean, it's probably not going to be a winner, but we'll see where it goes. So right now, NTRB looking to see if we wicked back down into here. This is going to be just basically a flyer. We'll see if we can get it to go again, looking for one of these spikes, preferably a halt, but it's only 327, so I probably won't have anything coming into it, but who knows. So out at 950 if we break to the downside, guys. Well worth the risk. It's a small little investment here. Not even an investment, a small trade here in NTRB. So let's see if it can make some magic down here to 950. Maybe we can catch an 11 spike, but we'll wait for that. DAT's still trying to go, man. I may just take this out for this 30-cent win, but we're close to getting out right now. Come on, DATS, you can do it, baby. We'll check back on this, Neil, because maybe if I stop looking at it, it'll go.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Oh, that's a horrible pun. But GWH, it is put up or shut up time. It's not just VWAP. I talked about this little cluster here. I was shorting off the 24 level. One of the larger positions I had on was shorting off 24. And it could not get past this random 22.60 price, which is now the support. If it breaks this, you've got to think it's going down to 20. I'm sitting on the bid. If it flushes this level, I don't want it to halt on me, so I'm kind of sitting where I think the halt band might be in front of it, and GWH might finally have rolled over. We talked about this 25 for the entirety of the Memes and Movers show. I was talking about the buyer at 25, so there was no way I was going to miss it when that level finally broke to the downside. And then the reason why you got to take profit when you're going counter trend is something this strong, even with like the volume's actually holding up on plug power. If I can, you guys see that? I have to do, I have to do this. Oh, there you go. The volume's actually holding up in the afternoon. So, you're seeing the market come down. All the EV and related names are showing some strength here. They're holding support. If it does end up barcoding here, not breaking the high, but not getting out of the low, well, as a day trader, for at least the next 20 minutes or so, you can reload in front of 85, 90. You can get some out in 60 to 75, which is not that bad, right? Like you can get in and out of the trade. And then if it's an abject disaster, like it breaks out the high, well, you don't lose as much because you were banking profit the whole way. You might actually still be up if you do it enough times. I haven't got the reload yet. I'm waiting for closer to that 80 range, but I'm willing to do it if it gets there. And yes, we're holding on to SoFi. And yes, Moderna is breaking down. Just be careful of that 309 area. I do think Moderna could find at least a little bit of a bid. GWH is still trying to go. I mean, this stock is kind of getting annoying here. At some point, it's got to go. I wanted to check in on Bros, if only because yesterday was some pretty decent trading on Bros, and you're going to see it down again today. So here's what you guys might remember in yesterday's action. This one was very strong up to that 50 range. It then rejects 50 here today, right? So a hard top at 50 even. There wasn't much of a trade because it was really low volume in the pre-market when it tested it. But below 47, I mean, there is a substantial sort of gap to be filled to that 44 breakout. What I prefer, though, is if it retests 50 tomorrow, it's got to be a short in front of 50, right? So broke 50, failed break, tried to gap up there again after pulling back, and just on no volume, immediately fell below that price. So this has got, Bros has to be a fade in front of 50 if there's any kind of a gap up tomorrow. Of course, you have to wait until tomorrow morning to put that trade on. If it gaps above it, I'd be willing to short it through that level, but first things first. I mean, it's forming into like, it's not the same thing as CCXI, because that was a more clear and defined top, but it's pretty close to that same concept where if you get a retest at the open or in the pre-market, shorting in front of that price, I almost have to take it. So keep that on your radar. Didn't trade Bros today. It was good yesterday. Let's hopefully it'll be good tomorrow off that 50 level.
Yeah, so far so good here for us today. And we did take some out, so we'll do chicken dinner winner. We haven't done this in a while. We're having chicken wings tonight. The wife asked me, and I say the wife because people get mad when I say that. She asked me, and we got chicken wings. So for tonight, we'll throw those on the barbecue, as it is still really nice weather out, actually. What is it right now? 21 degrees Celsius right now in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So I hope wherever you guys are, it's nice weather as well, and you can enjoy some delicious chicken wings with you and yours, because we'll be doing that tonight. So, okay, we got out of half there. If it falls back down, man, we still have that one target. So this may be a nothing trade for me on DATS, but we could just take it out right here and just cash out everything. Is it cold in BC right now? So we'll have to see what Valeria says, though, coming through. But yes, so watch out there. I think she was saying that it was cold. She liked it there, but didn't like the weather, was what she mentioned. So, yeah, we'll get Valeria back tomorrow. So join us.
I always thought, like out west, like it's basically never too hot, never too cold, and always raining is the idea out west here.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. It's
yeah.
I guess.
Well, I mean, at least they don't have. Yeah, 21 degrees would be like 70. Yeah, 70, 72 degrees or so, which is not too bad. I mean, for three, I guess it's always warm in the afternoon. Okay, so here comes DATS back. It does get cooler at night, but I like the cool at night. I mean, this is fall, baby. Let's go.
Not too sleep with the windows open. Anyways, but should get to a SoFi here.
Come on,
because,
DATS.
Look, it's only less than half an hour in the market, and SoFi turned at $18.99.5. So it went right to the $19 level, and for now is turning around here. It's at that time of day where if you like the long, it can always be a 19 break. So might as well just sort of, if it retests here, might as well try to get it out in the mid-90s. And then if it's still going to break 19 even, then just get back into the trade on a 19 even break. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to get on the offer here. Probably don't want this thing to get too far back down past like 1880 or so. So I'll be manually looking at it as well. But that way, if it doesn't break 19, I've taken the profit. If it does break 19, then I'm getting the breakout and giving up an extra couple, like 5 or 6 cents on the trade. But I'm not getting into the long again unless it takes out that level. So it gives me some cover that the move doesn't continue, and I'm not sitting here holding the trade. And this is partly to do with the fact there's only 25 minutes left in the session. GWH, it did break that level for me down at 22.50. So I did talk about 22.65 or so, but look. Like it got like a few cents below this support level and then came right back. It's still barcoding. What I'd love to see here, obviously, is another capitulation candle through a key level. It doesn't hurt that, hey, $25, 10% down, 22.5. So if it does that math again, it should retest 20 even. I don't know, it could happen, but obviously I've got the long here. Sorry, I've got the short, and I want to hang on to it for dear life. As long as this is below 25, I want to give it a chance to drop another $2 and see what can happen.
Yep, hodl, holding on for dear life. Okay, I don't know. I mean, just to review some of the positions we have, and I'm still watching that chat. I mean, we could get out of that again and just finish it out because it had some problems there. I'm glad we got out near the top. Just trying to hold to see if it can go. I may get out if it breaks this 1440 and just forget about it, put the money in our pocket and move on. I mean, there's only 25 minutes left, but I don't know, still has a chance there. I'd rather make money than not on this name. So we already did that there. So maybe this is something that we need to think about getting. Yeah, there it goes. It's breaking back down below. So we'll see if we can get it out right now on that. And offering 42s and change or so. We'll see if we can get out on this name back to the downside. Didn't like that. Too bad. There it is. So we'll finish the trade. Ooh, we saw it a pending offer. That's why it went there. So that's whatever, man. We'll no diamond hands, but we'll spit out some cash there for that chat. as it's coming back upside again. We just took it out at 42 off of a 30 break. So we take 40 cents there, and then we take, where are we long at? 32. So a 10 cents there and 30 cents there. So that's why it's about 45 cents in total. Whatever. I just didn't want that to fall back in because I was going to get out, right? Like, where am I going to get out? 1390 there, maybe even right here, 1370. And then all of a sudden, it squashes that win, right? So if you're not really loving these trades, then you get out. And it was only 10 minutes to go before, actually less, it's 3:40, right? Nick Gleason, hopefully from Rogue Trader,
yes.
the original, he goes by, right? You know, Eminem is like the original Slim Shady. You know, we got the original Rogue Trader on right now. So how does that sound?
Honestly, that title is so legit that I don't even think he needs to put the original, right? Because yeah. And the thing about it is, I know like Nick Gleason trades mostly futures right now, if not only in the futures. But the reality is, learning about trading psychology, it doesn't matter sort of what you're trading in the markets. It could be Forex, it could be equity, it could be futures, it could be options. Some of the same principles are going to apply psychologically, technically. This is why it's a fantastic guest, because I mean, the best way to learn sometimes is for free. This is a free program, guys, where you get to learn from our successes and mistakes, and now you're going to get to learn from someone who obviously has a wealth of experience. So, you know, tune in, watch it again after we've done it here live, because I think it's going to be a good one.
Look at this. What's up, Extra Pressure? Y'all are the Eminem and Dr. Dre of day trading. Yeah, you know what? Mom's spaghetti. Knees weak, palms are sweaty, you know?
Yeah.
So let's...
There
we go. There we go. So yeah, let's go, guys. All right, we're very, very excited soon to have Nick Gleason come on. So we just talked about that, a big time guest, and we're super excited. But let's just go over a few more trades here as we go. Microsoft. What up, Microsoft? So far today, we've had diamond hands because we've held it all day. We talked about how we hate that term, diamond hands, right? Because what exactly does that mean? We are day traders. We are flat at the end of every single day. We bought Microsoft a lot here in the morning. We didn't do anything. We should have got out when it went to 295. But look how dead this chart is, man. Like, this is really what I'm talking about here. I mean, we're not too super excited about this Microsoft chart when it looks like this, but that's one chart. People saying SoFi, SoFi, so good today. Took that long, 1850, out a little bit. Now we're back to day's high. So SoFi starting to run. And if you notice, my trades aren't here from yesterday.
150,000 on the offer.
But we were long down here on SoFi. Okay, we'll have a look. We were long down here on SoFi yesterday, 1680, when it ripped all the way to 1850. That was a fantastic trade. And then today we kind of trying to rinse and repeat again, and now you're right up to 19. So as Neil's talking about, look at the level 2 here, right? We're going to be always all about education. That's what we believe in, and that's what we do. So you see this size? If it eats through that, man, next stop, probably 19 and a quarter. So here it goes. Let's go, SoFi. They just took it out. You could see all the dark prints. And actually, I do want to ask Mr. Gleason about market manipulation. So you can see here there's a lot of dark pools. There's a lot of trades going through here. I think this is a perfect example to talk about, where are these trades coming from, who's executing them, and just get another opinion on some of these dark pools. Because it just took out 19 and then it didn't break because there were so many iceberg orders there. But that's that. SoFi, nice trade today, man. We're 50 cents in the money.
And anytime you can understand the other side of the trade, you got to try to do that. That's why you get different perspectives, and that's why it can be valuable. Like regardless of the direction we're playing these stocks in or trading these stocks in, look at the levels, the price action around, and you can learn from it. I did get the reload on Plug Power up there, so it's essentially the same price. I mean, it's at 80. I know the last time, 80, 81s, whatever you might have had there, up in that range. And I'm going to sit on the bid, play the inside as I can. There was a question about Vinco Ventures, like, did we have any trades on it today? I had one trade on Vinco Ventures today, and that's it. And it was up at that 670. I don't see anything else to do. And again, I got trailed out of this one as well. This is what happens when you go to the can and put stop orders and have these horrible trail outs. But anyway, it's going to happen to you. But BBIG, you're like, why would you like 670? It's pretty simple. When in doubt, zoom out. If you look at when it broke this 640 level, go back. You have a 670 peak right here. When you had the day 2 after that reversal at 780, you had this nice little range here about 670 to 685. I was willing to short everything within that range. It did not even break the 70, and then you're going to see it fall right back into VWAP here. Now, I probably would have been flat when it got to VWAP anyway, so I might have only given up an extra 30 or 40 cents. I don't see anything on it yet. If it were to pop in the next 5 minutes, back up to 670, there'd be a short, but we're running out of time for that to happen. And by the way, GWH, because obviously it's caught a bid. So GWH, I thought for sure was going to make that second rollover, and we're going to get like a $4 or $5 trade. Now we have to wait on it, but you guys don't have to wait for our guest of the day. We've queued it up. Brendan, time to introduce the man.
All right, guys, we are so thrilled and happy to have Nick Gleason with us. He is a derivatives trader. He is a motivational speaker. He is the CEO of Bull and Bear Capital. We're thrilled to have you, Nick. Thanks for doing this. And we apologize if there was confusion this morning with the time. We all know you're in Ireland, but it's great to have you. Welcome to the show, first of all.
Okay, I'm glad to be here. Don't worry about earlier, it was all my fault.
No problem, no problem. Let's jump right into things here. Interesting markets we're in right now. I mean, it's a little bit top heavy, it would seem. Again, you focus mostly on futures, derivatives, those types of instruments. Let's go, for those just starting out in the markets, what do you tell traders first starting out in the markets today versus maybe the markets that you dealt with way back when you started? What should people be aware of and know when they're first getting started today?
Well, I think when people are starting out, it's important that everybody wants to trade profitably. Okay, that's the aspiration for everybody. But you need to be able to manage your positions as well, and you need to be able to manage the risk. And my story is full of episodes where that didn't happen. And you also have to control the emotional side of trading. It can be very, very difficult. Everything is sent to test you, and it's how you deal with that. So you need to get the three things right. Of course, you all want to make profitable trades. You have to manage your position as effectively and manage the risk as well as you possibly can. But you have to handle the psychology, the emotional side of it as well. And you need to get all three parts right. If you're only getting one part right, you have a bit of a problem.
And the emotional side and the psychological side is so very key, and probably the hardest hurdle to get over when you are first starting out in the market, especially today. What are some tips that you would give traders today on the psychology side? What are some things that you employ yourself to kind of get past those stresses of the market every day?
Yeah, well, I think you hit the nail on the head. The psychology is the most difficult part. And, we're all going to experience losses, and how are you going to deal with them? Are you going to freeze like I did in Singapore all those years ago? Or you're going to act early, you're going to ask for help. So I think trading can be a really lonely place, right? We all know that. If something's going against you, you're on your own, and you've got no friends, and you really don't know how to communicate. So I think forums and using things like tradertv and other avenues to perhaps look at what other people are experiencing and understand that, and get a bit of a guidance and point you in the right direction. It's crucial. I think back to all of my times in Singapore years ago, asking for help and advice. It sounds so easy. I never did it. The story would have been completely different had I done that. So communication is a real effective tool for pretty much any hurdle that you may face in life, as far as I'm concerned.
Hi, Nick. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you here on Trader TV Live, the best trading show on YouTube, and what a great honor to have you, so thank you. I did want to talk. We often get questions about market manipulation and what's been happening. We've just recently saw all these meme stocks with AMC and GME, and then we saw on Capitol Hill as well, talking with Robinhood and so on and so forth.
Sure.
What are some of your opinions regarding market manipulation, and why do you think it's so prominent right now?
Well, I think it's, I think you go through, different periods in the market where it's a little bit more prominent. The Robinhood, the meme stocks, I kind of like it. There's been a market that's been heavily in favor of the big investment banks, the fund managers, the short sellers for a large period of time. So I like that balance is coming into line a little bit more. People have had to become used to the way that the Wall Street bets, the Robinhood traders are approaching the markets, and it's evening the playing field up a little bit. So you've got to enjoy it from that perspective. I think back to my time in Singapore. We used to manipulate the markets. There was spoofing, there was layering. There's, those things are against the rules at the moment. But every time I look at a market open or the 15 to 20 minutes before the market opens, there's definitely some spoofing. There's definitely some layering going on. So it's impossible to eradicate it. And it's only a small minority of people that get involved in this sort of stuff. So, it's part of trading the markets. How this Robinhood and meme stock thing will end up, I really don't know. I think the banks, the fund managers will take back control, but only time will tell.
Nick, great answer. Thank you so much. And yeah, the word spoofing is one of those words that we try not to use too much here because, as you mentioned, yeah, not supposed to be allowed. So we'll slap some people on the hand there for that. But thank you for the great answer. I'll throw it over to Neil.
Yeah, and thank you for being here. Sometimes in the live show, we'll be showing a level 2, and then you'll see the spoofing order, which is hilarious. There's no way we can have you on here without getting an important question. You know, trading, some losses are just the cost of doing business. You can't win 100% of the time. So we have to ask you, what's your number one approach or main approach when a trader deals with an unexpected or outsized loss? Like, what tools would you employ to bounce back from it? Because that's ultimately what this game is about.
Yeah, look, it's a real tough one. Unfortunately, I spent 4.5 years in prison in Singapore bouncing back from mine. So I had a lot of time to do that. And I think the first thing is that you have to, like for me, from a personal perspective, it was all about becoming accountable for my actions, being responsible, not blaming other people for things that went on. And I think trading is similar. You've made a mistake. You've got to realize that mistake. And I think the key part then from there is making sure that you don't repeat it. Mistakes are okay, right? They're going to happen. Everybody does it. Nobody walks through life being completely mistake-free. But you have to learn from it. If you continue to make those same mistakes time and time again, trading's probably not for you. I don't know how else to explain it. I have rebounded, and I'm still there. So hopefully, I've learned a few of those lessons.
Yeah, thank you so much for that answer. I mean, you fit in right on with us because we're about education here. So I love what you're bringing to the table. I'm going to send you back to Brennan again. An absolute honor to have you on, and fantastic.
Thank you. And look, I enjoyed the part of the program that I saw just before. I'm going out to buy a few stocks now.
Love it. We're going to bring you to the equity side. We were converting you.
Maybe not.
Let's talk about change here, Nick. This is a guy with decades of experience, obviously, in the market. So maybe more so than ever, right now, there's more retail traders, more young people in general trying to, get into the market for the first time. Let's talk a little bit about change here because, coming from, decades ago, as we said, tell us a little bit about how the market has changed from when you first started to where we are today, and maybe some of the bigger changes that have really influenced, in your opinion, the markets today.
Yeah, look, I come from an open outcry background, so it was all about hand signals, and you could see what people were doing in front of you when you're on the market. So obviously, everything is now screen traded. I think the complexity has gone through the roof in terms of the data that you're looking at, how you look at that data. So, I try to simplify things as much as possible. Don't look at too many technical indicators. You use one or two and tend to stick to those. But just to make it as simple as I possibly can. So as you've mentioned already, I still trade futures. And who knows when the market's going to move? Well, I can tell you when it's going to move twice during the day, the opening bell in Europe, the opening bell in the US. And I just focus on those periods of the day. And I like to step away, bring a bit of variety into the day. It's far too easy to get consumed by your trading screens, and you're forcing trades when you shouldn't. I think, education is a key part of that, empowering yourself. It's a long journey, to be honest with you, and experience is a key part of it as well, and keeping yourself safe in those early stages of learning.
Very, very true and well-spoken words. We appreciate it. NickGleason.com, guys. Check him out on Twitter as well. Very active on Twitter. We appreciate your time. Nick Gleason, always a pleasure. And, come back and give us another update in the future. Enjoy your evening.
Absolutely, and you take care.
There we go, guys. NickGleason.com.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I know
We did it.
You guys had a lot of questions in the chat, and to the best of our abilities, if we have a chance to maybe forward those on to Nick, or maybe just reach out to him on Twitter as well. Is he was thankful enough or nice enough to give us his contact information there, so hit him up there, or we'll try to get those questions and answered. Only had him for so long, and it was a good time. But some things were happening in the market here, Sean.
What was up with that? Like, we just got clocked out of our Microsoft, which is fine. Still a positive stock for me today, but I mean, unbelievable. I mean, we just tanked pretty hard there. Excuse me, on the NASDAQ. Like, I mean, I guess there's going to be some imbalances coming out, which is happening like in 30 seconds. So we'll wait to see here. Let's just quickly look at Toronto. Was there anything on Toronto that came out there? Like, I just can't stop trading. Like, we just had a great interview there, and my mind is like just, you know, on you guys on the show, on trading and going with that. So I don't see anything on Toronto, and very, very soon we're going to get a call right here on the New York and the NASDAQ. So with only 10 seconds ago, don't worry about all these things right now. They're not going to be legit. It's going to update in 5 seconds, so stick with us here. We have it sorted by size, so we're going to see, I bet you there has to be a big Apple sell or something happening right now. Yeah, there it is. Wow, who called that one? Let's go. We did talk about that one as Apple, big sell right there. We've seen Apple been on the imbalances for a while. There's DoorDash. We talked about that earlier. Maybe we have to look at that. A buy of 800,000, 900,000. But there it is, man, right to the downside. Big downside trades.
Yeah, and we'll do this one for plug. We got the reload at 29.80 and then knew that, you know, get some bids out here, because if a sell and bounce comes in, even a strong stock like this is going to give you a little bit of a dip. And that might be the last chance to be able to get out of this trade for that profit, unless it completely rolls over. You forget about like a 30 stop here. Like, if this takes out the high of the day, I can't really be too concerned about that on plug. So, you know, I kind of have to sit here, you know, understand the concept that if it goes past like a 29.80, I'm getting out of it manually. I do want to hold on to this GWH as long as possible. It's starting to go again, right? So you can see it flushing down through 22 here. If the bottom falls out, which it might be running out of time for that, quite frankly, to happen, I'd like to see if it can't test that 20 even. But once 25 went, I knew I wanted to short. I knew I wanted to try to hold it as far as I could into the close. I am running out of time. It'll take one more shot likely at 22, and then I might have to cover it at VWAP at 23. I don't have a problem with like $1.50 on it, but, you know, keep in mind, like, I fought this stock all the way upside with tight stops all the way through. But the 2 times that I thought I really had it, dead to rights at 27 and then again at 29, you can see I got out way too early. The second time, I got stopped out after getting a nice profitable trade on that short off 27. If this doesn't work, we can revisit 25 tomorrow. This stock, it was a $10 name yesterday. You know, it's only traded in the market for 2 days, and the second day it was once up 150%. So I feel like it's not going to be done by any stretch of the imagination tomorrow.
Just looking at SoFi here, I mean, it's the only position we have left is going to be SoFi. I mean, what a good day it was. Besides that last move down on Softy there, that's all. But right now, and that was fine. It's just we were cruising, that's all. And then that happened. So right now, SoFi, nice move to the high side there. It's just bouncing off 19. We'll wait to see what it wants to do at $19 at some point. We will wait to see. Oh, that's what we did. We had a question about Nike, and I was talking about it because of sticky notes. So shout out to whoever was asking me about it. I wrote down 150 on the sticky note if we ever got down to there. I mean, we got pretty damn close, 151 and change. So if you did take the long there, congratulations. Nike's been, whoa, I don't know what that move was. But Nike, was there news maybe middle of the day? 152 up to 153. But Nike's, we've only bought 3 names here. And I'll tell you one thing, the NASDAQ closing at lows, I've said this over and over again. If you're watching the show, welcome and thank you. First of all, hit the like, hit the subscribe if you can. That would be fantastic. But I've talked about this. NASDAQ closing on lows, not a good sign, guys, for tomorrow. So I know you know that. And not only that, but it's going to be midweek. So yikes. I'm not looking forward to, like, sometimes you get buys on Friday just to close out the week, but midweek, man, we could be in for some trouble tomorrow. But Nike, why did we buy Nike? Again, we talked about that. Today we get the Goldman Sachs upgrade. Who cares? We bought this a couple weeks ago when we were back down here. And I guess it was probably September 28th, 29th or so. When we came right back in, they miss on earnings a little bit. And then it comes right back in here to 146. And that's where we bought it against there. So Nike, just with name brand, I like to buy the best of breed, to steal a line from Jim Cramer there. And I mean, it's just, I love Nike. I love the Lululemon. And, you know, so these are ones. And plus, these Air Force Ones are pretty comfortable. So we'll wait to see if that can do anything. I just like Nike. I like them for future play. Apple, I mean,
just for 1 second,
yeah,
because cost is halted here, and it halted at 349, and it's a limit halt. So, I mean, I don't understand how there couldn't be news here. That's a little shocking to me, because it was doing absolutely nothing all day long at 1580, and then just halted upside after 2 moves. So it made 1 move in here up to like call it like 16 or 17, flush back down, and then you're going to get a halt here at like 8. Like, this is ridiculous at 18. It makes absolutely no sense how strong this pullback and then another breakout would be if there isn't news. So if there's something that happened here, we'll see. If you do go to the NASDAQ, always have this page up if you are momentum trading. It doesn't have a trade resumption time on it. That usually means that it might not open until 4 o'clock. Now, sometimes it's like 3:50. If it holds before 3:50, maybe it'll open back up. But usually when I look at these, you're not going to open back up until 4, and then it'll trade in the aftermarket. So monster moves here in costs. We'll definitely be watching this tomorrow. But Brendan's telling us no news here, which is a little bit shocking. We've seen
No, they
this.
won a patent or something.
Did they want a
apparently.
patent? Okay, I haven't seen it.
There is news, they're saying, yeah. They won a patent against Apple.
That's not news.
I don't know if that's news, or I'm just saying that's what people are saying.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
We've seen the stock squeeze before. Remember, Cost was kind of in that meme squeeze game, trading it off of AMC and GameStop when that first happened. So you know what can happen here. Make sure you take profit if you are in a fantastic long position, which if you got it, it's obviously a good one, unless you bought at the top, in which case, good luck.
Part of Squeezegate there. We'll look at Apple. Cost was a good one. Also, Corsair was being squeezed. There's a whole bunch of them, BlackBerry, so on and so forth. But so Apple, if Apple touches this 139 tomorrow, it's not going to be good, guys. You could get a break back down below. Remember, Apple's pretty much not in every single ETF, but a lot of the indexed ETFs, of course, it's in those for sure. The largest part of the S&P, the largest part of the NASDAQ is Apple. So we'll wait to see here. And the reason why, forget about this little wick up there. That's not why. It's just we started to get back going. We started to go back to the upside there. And people that missed Apple, might have bought back up here, 144, 145, 146, something like that. And then when they wake up and they see like a 140, a 139 break, that may, get the doors open for exits. So, you can have Apple fade back in to 134, 135. I'll be sitting there, arms open to take as many shares as we can, but Apple could fall back in. Remember, the thing about Apple is everyone loves us some Apple, but if you go over here, look back, it's not even positive. It's positive for the year, but it's barely positive for the year. So Apple, if you go back to January, right here, so January 1st, it's right here, 133.99 Apple on the year, 133 as of January, right? So you only get it right now, 141. You're up about $8 on Apple, so you're up like 5 to 6% for the year. What up, B?
Just reading a little more on that, guys, that cost story. It could be more a combination of that patent ruling along with, this thing has a 4 million share float as well. And there is a short interest involved in this as well. So, if there's a hurry to get some shorts covered, we could get a bit of a cascading effect like that. But not seeing anything else on cost, guys.
What's up, Dominic? I see Dominic here. Thank you, Dominic. I know he's a member for 3 months. Keeps throwing these super chats, so let's do it for you. NRXP. It's near the end of the day. Have you traded that today, Neil? Neil has the chart.
It was a little linear for me, but it's absolutely going absolutely gangbusters today. It is getting very close to some levels that I think are going to be actionable tomorrow. But I looked at this one and say to myself, it's like 12 or 13 up in this range, or maybe even the 50 period at $12 even. SoFi, I would have taken the break if this had happened 10 minutes ago, but SoFi now breaks at 19 even.
Oh,
so I give up a few extra pennies there. We'll look to see what happens with Cost on the reopen. I would anticipate Cost is going to have a boatload of action when this opens up at 4 o'clock. I expect it to be pretty violent. I can't see any other way around it with a low float. Also being the post market with a move like this should be entertaining for sure.
We've actually talked about after hours trading, so make sure that your broker does support that because you don't want to take a position now and then understand that you can't get out after 4 o'clock. That has happened. I've had people tweet at me, what do I do, what do I do? And it's because their broker, unfortunately, doesn't allow after hour trading, or there's certain order types that you have to use. So just please, just understand your broker. That's your homework, because Neil could be right on that one. Look at DATS, man. No diamond hands here, but we're able to make money on DATS. We called 15 where it would possibly go to, and that's exactly where DATS is going to, 15 right here on close. So there's my 87 that we were waiting for. Obviously, it's come and gone. We're out of DATS for 40 cents right there, but that was a good trade. SoFi, oops, sorry about that. There's SoFi there. It takes 19 and doesn't go. So we're just going to offer out right now for 50-cent winner on SoFi, and that was a good one for us today as Diamond Hands reign supreme on SoFi the last couple of days, up to $19. Wow, that was a good one for us on SoFi. So I thought the break there of 19 would have rallied it. So I did have an offer at 1902, sorry, 1910, but that didn't come through. So let's just get out now. And with only a minute left, wrap up this day. We're near the highest spot. Other than that Microsoft spot, this has been my best day of the week, not of the month, but it's pretty close, guys. So we'll try to rinse and repeat this day tomorrow.
And then everyone's chuckling because Randy's just lingering behind, ready to ring that bell. He's in position, man. Randy's always ready. He was born ready, Trader TV Randy. So it's been a fun one. Trade of the day is going to be that CCXI, which felt like an absolute rock. It could have been a lot of names here, and I'm going to be glued to watching this cost if it opens up and when it should open up at 4. Should be an interesting trade tomorrow for sure. Make sure you tune back in tomorrow morning. We're back every single day that the U.S. markets are open. And what an unbelievable guest. Great interview there, Brendan. I hope you really enjoyed watching Nick Gleason there. And definitely watch it back, man. Learn a little bit here. Sometimes it's even better the second time through. Time to drop the countdown. We got to go. The market's closing. 5, 4, 3, 2. Randy. There's the last one.
All right, we're closed. Thank you, Randy, for that. What a good day it was for us today. Let's go over to Brendan and quickly see how I think we were positive. Were we, Brendan?
Definitely not. We'll have a look here in a second. If you want to see what I'm looking at right now. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. Okay, let's go. I almost got you there, Robbie. 0.2% for the S&P, 0.45 there for the Dow, the NASDAQ as well, about 0.3. So overall, could have been a lot worse, guys. 3.5% for Bitcoin. Remember, we were up, 7 yesterday, I think, for Bitcoin?
Yeah, I mean, look, healthy pullback, but we're still holding out that 55 level last time I checked. Just for those of you that were interested in cost, it opened up, immediately tested 20 even, came right back to 19, so found support at that halt price, and is now going to retest 20. Like, obviously, we're not going to be trading it in here, but as 20 goes, you can imagine the squeeze that could go on in this day. In the aftermarket, like, let alone during market hours. I mean, there's some levels here. I don't know how much they're going to come into play in the aftermarket, but costs off to the races. This is going to be a heck of a trade tomorrow, one way or another, Sean.
I put in the chat, I'll put it one more time, Robbie. So we finally found out something that he can do for us, and he made these videos out of the blue. We didn't even really... We didn't even really know he was recording, but...
It was very candid. We were just jamming to the music. Seriously,
yeah, I mean, literally, we were just jamming. Thanks, Rob. There he is there. So he put that together. Thank you for that. He also put that Calmest Trader thing together, so I thought that was pretty cool as well. So thank you to everybody today. Over there is Randy, Lucas, and Rob. Of course, a big shout out to everybody there. Thank you so much. Thank you to Maggie for organizing everything. It was a little hectic today with Nick Gleason and everything, so thank you once again to Maggie for all that. And then, thanks to Prad, and hopefully Ms. V is on a safe trip back at some point. We'll see her tomorrow. I'm hoping, anyways. And
hopefully she's not flying Southwest. It wouldn't be up.
No, it'll be...
I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have done that.
Why? What's wrong with that? As long as they're not delayed, I guess. Thank you so much to Vader. You are the Force, and may the Force also be with you, my friend. So thank you to Vader as well. The super chats are very, very kind, and we definitely appreciate it. Thanks to Brendan again, the hardest working man on the team. We couldn't do anything without Brendan. So thank you, Brendan, for that one. And hey, look.
One note quickly, guys.
Yep.
The Dow 3% from all-time highs.
Dow 3%.
Yeah.
He's always got something for you guys, always.
Okay, that's good. We'll wait for a little bit more of a pullback. I think the 5 to 7%.
Just buy the Dow and between. Yeah,
buy the Diamonds DIA if you like that one. If you like some value there. Shout out to all of our fans as well, and not just fans, our viewers. Thank you to everybody for coming back every single day and watching us. We're trying to put on the best show we can. And on that note, join us tomorrow. Everybody have a great night. Tomorrow at 8:30, we're back. Thank you. Follow us on Twitter as well. See ya.
See you guys.